Hello, in this short video I want to show you what ClientJet is and how we build ClientJet to facilitate client collaboration. ClientJet is for anyone that works on client projects, like agencies or freelancers for example. Its uniqueness lies in the focus on your clients or the work you have to do with your clients. It also incorporates a streamlined feedback process that gives you or that guides you through the whole project. And it does that by collecting all project-specific data in one location. So you can have projects and content for these projects. You can have file uploads, comments from you or your clients. And as you work, from start to finish, ClientJet documents the whole project process for you. ClientJet is a multi-tenant application. That means that every new account gets its own ClientJet application, its own virtual office, in order to collaborate on client projects. ClientJet is perfectly suitable for or as a software as a service platform with a monthly or yearly subscription model. Here I'm simulating a new account registration, and in the background a new ClientJet application is created that we can reach from just anywhere via its own new subdomain. So now I want to invite you to come with me and see ClientJet from the perspective as a newly registered freelancer or a newly registered agency, for example. I'm here at my new subdomain and I can log into my own ClientJet application by providing the credentials I provided earlier. So I'm going to log in, stay logged in. So, and as you can see, ClientJet is a very simple application. You have clients and you have projects for these clients. So the first thing you want to do is create a new client. This can be, for example, a random company and an employee that is working at the company that will be able to log into ClientJet and work with you together. Per default, this client has no access, but we can work or start working with this client to create a new project, for example. Let's say you want to build a new website with this client. You can provide some details from your workshop or your initial briefing, anything you can think of as your global project description. Every new project is private per default. That means that you can work on your project and decide when you want to give your client access to this project. So now let's start working on a new project. The first thing you want to do is publish the project, because when we invite the client, we want him to see the project or access the project. A project is divided in three main parts: the description we provided, you can upload files, and you can create inspections, which are there to organize your feedback process. Additionally, in this example, I want to add some files my client can access. And as you can see, there's a storage maximum usage. This is just for demonstration here, but this depends on the subscription plan chosen. So now we are ready to invite our client. We can go to managing the employees, and from there we can send an invitation so that the client with the email address we provided earlier gets his invitation per email. So in the client inbox, he sees an email like this and can say, okay, right, I'm joining your ClientJet application and I'm going to log in. As you can see, he already has the published project there and he can access the files, he can access the workshop or the briefing details we added as global project description. So back as our freelancer, we now can see the last login of our client. We can see that he has now access to our project and we can start working with our client together. So let's create a first inspection. Perhaps we have our first drafts ready. So we can provide a title and a new description where he should focus on, and we can add our first drafts at files directly from this window here. Now that we created our first inspection, our client gets directly notified about a new inspection that was created, and he can visit it directly from his email inbox. So as you can see, he can start to write comments. He can accept the inspection. He can say, okay, these drafts are good. Or he can say, there's a little bit more work needed to accept the inspection. So now the client can actually start working or requesting adjustments to these drafts, for example. And the freelancer, on the other hand, gets notified about these requests. So he can start working on new drafts. He can start adjusting and uploading his new drafts. So everything is in one place, and we get a feedback process where everyone knows exactly where to look at. To organize this process even more, to get further within the project, the client can finally accept the inspection. He can say, okay, I am confident with the current state of this draft. We can move on to the next point. I accept the inspection. So the inspection gets marked as ready, and for the freelancer, he also gets the exact time and date when the client accepted the inspection, so we can always get back to this date and we can always go back to this history to check out, okay, we're now moving forward. We can create new inspections, and we can also, of course, mark this project finally as ready, as finished, and we can get always back to specific points in time within every project we finished.